Okay, at 9:01 a.m., we'll be calling this regular meeting of the Libertarian Party of Ohio's Executive Committee to order. I will go ahead and call the roll in the absence of a secretary, which we currently do not have. So myself, Jim Cavoli, present. John Moeller. Not present. Mr. Nana.
Someone's coming.
Good morning. Sorry I'm a bit late.
All right.
We still remember that the other table back, did we? Where did it go?
Dustin.
Dustin.
I've got him on the WebEx, but I can't hear him right now, so we'll have to go not present for the time being. We can pass and come back to you. Christopher Gill.
Howdy, I'm here.
All right. Mr. Strillo.
Present.
And back to Dustin. Got you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Excellent.
Alrighty. So with 4 of 5 seated members present, we have a quorum.
Just a point of clarification. Technically, we still have 6 seated members
Six,
because Jennifer's
yep.
resignation did not get accepted by the Central Committee. They did not get enough votes to.
It'll be dispatched to the CENTCOM meeting today, but
All right. Well, it's disappointing that the Central Committee can't process a resignation, but with 4 of 6 seated members present, we still have a quorum. Although presently majority would be 3. Moving on. Any disclosures, conflicts of interest?
I'm working for the Stephen Tackett's campaign up here. I'm the treasurer and campaign manager. I'm also the Region 3 rep on National Committee. I guess I should technically be including that in my conflicts, even though it's not really a conflict to me. It's been brought to my attention that technically it is.
I certainly hope that it is never a conflict to be both serving the party nationally and at the state level. We all hope that that's a peaceful relationship, but I appreciate the disclosure.
Yeah, well, more so the other way around because, yeah, I mean, when I'm Region 3 rep and involved in the state party and I'm representing, I still support on other states too.
Any others?
County party affiliation isn't conflict of interest.
All right, we will move along to the adoption of the agenda. Agenda was distributed per the rules. Are there any revisions?
No revisions, just another reminder. I put it in the chat already. I will have an item of business. I think my connection's not the greatest. I don't know if you can even hear me right now.
Yeah, I got you.
Hold on. Yeah, I don't think you guys can hear me right now. My connection is terrible because I'm driving, but I'll be there in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Okay, we can hear you fine. I will move the adoption of the agenda as submitted. Is there a second? All right. With a second, any objection? And without objection, the agenda is adopted. As far as approval of minutes from the previous meeting, we do not have minutes from the previous meeting produced and distributed prior to this one, we also do not have completed minutes from the prior meeting for reading at this time. We do have the ability to produce them. That just needs to be done from the final recording of the meeting and the notes that were assembled. So we will just move on to review of business conducted between meetings, of which there was none for this body. And that takes us to reports from party officers. Given Ms. Flowers' absence, we will move past the time for the office of the secretary. Mr. Moeller is still not present, but we do have a written report that was submitted from the treasurer's office.
Mr. Chair, I hate to do this, but if Mr. Mueller's not present, we don't have quorum because there's technically still 6 seated members.
I'm sorry?
We have 4 present of 6.
Who's the fourth?
Chris Gill is on the phone, yourself on the phone, Derek here, and myself here. We do have a quorum. So continuing with the treasurer's report, there was a written report submitted that is in the drive for this meeting. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to review it. It was submitted by the deadline. The short version highlights I would just like to call out include the totals for the conference are in, and we came out a little bit ahead on that, grossing $12,970 total, and doing that over $10,885.30 in expenses, with a net positive of $2,084.70. Certainly not bad to have a little bit of cash left, and my thanks to everyone who helped keep me together that weekend since the entire committee resigned. Especially Mr. Nana and Mr. Shirlow. You two were both a huge help. Otherwise, our activity generally for the year, we're still looking at a net gain, net profit on the year. Expenditures are tracking behind donations, which is fabulous, and I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit more about trying to get the donations side of things sped up once we get into the finance division. Are there any particular things that we would like to call out regarding the treasurer's report, or other questions to enter to the secretary's office, acknowledging that those will probably have to be answered at a later time?
Just lost Dustin.
All right.
Now we don't have one.
Which is fine. We're still not trying to conduct business that don't deem it to be material unless you're asking for a recess. So we have it.
Point of information.
Sure.
What are reports supposed to be submitted by? Because now it makes sense when you say that there's a deadline, but I did not realize there was a deadline.
Wednesday.
Okay. And who do they get submitted to?
They can get thrown on drive or submitted to me for the divisions, at least it's to me. Officers have slightly different rules. All right. The office of the vice chair, we will go ahead and move past that. That one is vacant. It is possible we will see a new vice chair seated today by the Central Committee. I believe that's on the agenda. So with the balance of time for reports from party officers, I will jump in on a couple of things. We got through the conference. I'm happy about that. We have a I believe I mentioned last time, we do have an appeal filed with the Supreme Court regarding the boards of elections cases from I believe this was the 2018 rounds. This was submitted by by Mark Brown, working with the UCLA Supreme Court clinic as well, and a couple of other attorneys. We have not gotten back a ruling on the petition for cert on that, but we have seen amicus briefs filed by the LNC, the Green Party, the Constitution Party, the Coalition for Free and Open Elections, as well as the Cato Institute. So those are going quite well. Response was just filed this week. Advise everyone keep track of it if you're into keeping track of Supreme Court cases. This is 21-226 for anyone who wants to keep track of that. We are hopeful that this may result in some revisions to the composition of the boards of election in Ohio. Separately, the ACLU has filed again against Ohio for the redistricting scheme, which, if anyone has been following, has been a complete mess as of late. Every liberty possible within the new frameworks has been taken by the established powers that be, and we look forward to seeing how that goes. We've had some committee or some party members suggest they might be able to put together a press release for us on that, hoping we can get a statement out in the near future. I've been a little bit busy to do some of that. But as always, any other hot goings on in the courts or otherwise, obviously we got the statement out about the vaccine mandates in a pretty timely manner. All members of the party are welcome to keep us appraised of things that they would like to see statements on, and would invite anyone to provide the first draft. We may revise or edit those down a bit, but especially in the absence of a communications director, which we are still actively looking for, that is much appreciated. Otherwise, the primary business of the party has been going fairly smoothly. We have appointed Drake Lundstrom as the finance director. We'll get to that report a little bit later. Very excited about that. And we have seen a couple of resignations. Unfortunately, the regional liaison spots are all vacant presently, which is disappointing. We had filled Northeast and Central. It was only lasted a couple of months. I understand the reasons, and certainly hold no ill will for the folks who had those roles, but would make an open appeal again to the membership to get some people interested into those roles. They're key for organizing our development activities for local affiliates, as well as communicating the needs and desires of those affiliates back to the state party in the future, especially as that number of affiliates grows. Are there any particular questions from members for the chair?
Question about the redistricting.
Yes.
So I know they had their meetings, their hearing, they pulled a party line vote, but all I can find online are the State House and State Senate. I cannot find the U.S. congressional one.
Those haven't been done yet.
Oh,
They
there's a
haven't gotten
separate
there.
process? Okay.
They haven't gotten there. They barely got to the first part, and they're already suing each other into the earth about it. So, and I believe there's,
Okay.
I'm not sure the present status, but there was also an attempt to get the deadlines enjoined because of the delay in the census data that RAG was party
Okay.
to.
Right,
So,
the deadlines for congressional districts are in October.
Yeah.
Something.
Okay, because I keep seeing news articles saying they did this, but then I only find the two maps. I'm like, where's the
Yeah,
third
they-
one?
They do the state and house.
they did the first part of it, kind of.
Senate and House.
Second version.
Thank you.
Anything else? I have nothing further to report at this time in this meeting. So I will say this sentence slightly slowly, waiting to see if Dustin arrives here. Otherwise,
He's back on,
We got him?
according to the screen here.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Dustin, can you go ahead and get into your report for Central Region 3? No, he just dropped off again.
I mean, he said he's walking up.
Yeah, I think he's like outside presently, so we can
So nice.
stand at ease momentarily for his return and report. Hello, Mr. Nana.
Well, with those two applications, that takes the body to 17.
Mr.
just
Strillo,
so
we
you know.
are still
With
in
two
the
new
XCOM
people
meeting,
probably
please.
joining.
Hey, order. Thank you. Back to we're at ease, but we have Mr. Nana here trying to get back to the report as the Region 3 rep to the LNC.
Hey, yeah, sorry, WebEx decided that it was gonna just not let me hear you guys.
That is irritating.
Yeah, it was
Glad to have you here.
I'm sure everybody is aware, the LNC voted to suspend our secretary at the last meeting. The last meeting was in Region 3. We were down in Louisville, Kentucky. There was a social down there. Couldn't be here today, but Helen was there. Kevin Kahn was there. I think it was his wife was there as well. Young kid, and a couple of other people from Ohio. I'm blanking on their names. Obviously, most of the people from Kentucky and stuff. But it went really well. Kentucky Party recently purchased a new office, got to tour the office and do a little cookout. That was fun. Other than the suspension of the secretary, there's not a whole lot going on at National. When all the mandate stuff came down, the party started a fundraiser for some sort of advertisement. Haven't heard a peep about that since, so can't really tell you what they're doing. I've been pushing on the email list for them to do something, but you know, I'm only one person. That's pretty much the report.
Anything further?
No, that's it.
All right, moving through old business. Only small note, ballot initiative proposed by Accountability Now Ohio. I know that they were re-petitioning on that. Their website disappeared, and the deadlines on getting those petitions in are, I think, past now, or looming anyway. So I'm actually not sure of the continued status of this initiative at present. I will follow up. But at this point, that either is going to come back up in October or it'll disappear because I don't see any reason to hold potential endorsement past the election cycle, the ballot it was intended to be on.
Makes sense.
More so advisory for the members. Moving on to new business. We have ratifying the newly revised SOP manual that was tabled to either between meetings or this one. I'm actually going to, I will move again that we table it similarly to last time, table this item to our next regular meeting or between meetings, should a motion on that matter be made.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All right, and is there any objection? Well, I also really hope that we can get those other officers seated because it feels very funny to suggest things, have you two agree, and ask Chris if he has a problem with it. This body should be a hair bigger. Moving along, 2022 LNC Convention Platform Committee seat. We have been soliciting interest for the seat that we have as a state party to the 2022 Platform Committee. We have had lukewarm response. There were at least one or two other people that I thought were interested who have either decided to stop doing things altogether with the party or decided that they are in fact not interested after a little bit more thought. That leaves the list of people who have actually expressed an interest in that role at one, which is me. That is the correct reaction. I appreciate it.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, 50% is not terrible validity for people you're not paying.
It's fun.
So if we would like to make a decision on the platform committee seat, at least the credentials committee seat, if I can just kind of sneak ahead in the agenda here just for the sake of context, is not any better because we have gotten zero
That one's
interest
usually,
expressed for that one.
For which one?
Credentials.
That one usually doesn't
Oh,
get
I
very
was,
many.
I was thinking about doing that. That sounds fun.
Trisha might.
I nominate Tricia Frankel for that.
Okay, it's next on the agenda. We're still technically in platform committee.
So, how many? Do you have a list of people that are actually still interested in for platform, or is it literally nobody right now?
It's literally me right now. That's as long as.
I mean,
the list
I've
is.
expressed interest in the past.
If you would like to express your interest here,
We
we will
also-
at least have two people interested.
Yeah, and then that gives us at least a rep and an alternate.
Yep.
Which is usually standard. I mean, we can technically name as many alternates as we want, but there's no reason to name
Yeah.
more than one.
Well,
Maybe two
I
max.
had said at I think our last meeting that it was my expectation that we not appoint more than 3 people, like 2 ranked alternates and the main member.
Aren't these positions part of the region, or is this assigned to Ohio?
No, this is for Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
ours
the
because we have a larger delegation.
large affiliate reward.
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
When do we-
still understand.
When do we need to have an answer in for national?
It's coming up. I want to say
Yeah,
it's October 31st or something
So
like that.
preference would be by October. The hard deadline is December.
Everything's kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
We suspended the secretary who was the chair of that committee.
Yep.
So it's kind of, I don't know if she was on that committee as an LNC seat or as a general seat. I don't remember. She was on as an LNC seat. I think she was on as an LNC. I don't know. If she was on as an LNC seat, then she's no longer on the committee, which makes everything more complicated.
Yep.
Yeah. So, unfortunately.
So yeah, I guess with that being said too, with that particular approach with caution, because there's going to be an election for the chair anyway, and there's not an obvious inheritor to that. But
No, there's not.
I guess my
Yeah.
question would be: is if somebody comes along and express actual strong interest, would there be a way to like revisit who we approve, kind of thing?
And technically, yeah, but it would be very
sort of, although
kind of
also
messed up.
mind on timing.
I mean, ideally, they would already have met. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's got to be because of the secretary stuff.
Yeah, the hope was that everybody could get things in as soon as August or September, and then the committee could get meeting by October.
Okay.
However,
We're not the only state that has not appointed yet. I can tell you
yeah,
that.
several states haven't actually gotten back in on that. Plus, there's the aforementioned uncertainty around the particular organization of that committee, because the person pushing to get that schedule set was
Yeah, the next
Secretary.
LNC meeting is not till the beginning of December. They should be able to vote on their own chair, though. I don't know who's gonna. It's gonna be messy because
Yeah.
who's gonna wrangle them now?
well, I mean, to some extent, it's probably going to require somebody to like.
Mr. Gill, do you have potential interest based on your question?
Oh hell no! I just sorry with that.
I mean, there's two of us that have expressed interest. I mean, should we just roll with it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I honestly, I was just half anticipating if Drake or somebody he knows is interested, and he just hasn't been made aware of it yet. But other than that,
I'm sending out an email to my email list right now, because I don't think I have yet, but I am very not interested.
Well,
Credentials.
Yeah.
Credentials is fun.
I mean, I've done it
Meet
before.
everybody that's coming in at the credentials booth. It's fun.
I'm an
Yeah, that's what you think, except for you're gonna be doing credential stuff. It depends on who they put at the booth. Usually Susan Hogarth hogs the booth. She likes to do it. I don't know if she's on it this time. Probably will be. She usually always is. And then you
Have we
might be
had-
allowed booth. Otherwise, you're doing grunt work, which is. I mean, it's still fun. It's
Mr.
just
Gill,
a different kind of fun.
I was just gonna say, have we asked Scott Pettigrew if he's interested in being back on credentials? He did it a while back. He may have already put in his time, but
we have not. I continue to respect Mr. Pettigrew's last wishes on contacting and or soliciting effort from him for things.
oh, okay, all right.
All right. Well, let's. Do you want to have an election?
This will be fairly quick. If someone wants to pick an order, I will suggest that I might be. Do you have a preference?
Do you want? Well, how badly do you want to do it?
I have some lingering unfinished business syndrome from the 2020 committee, which is no small part of my interest. But I think I'm probably more appropriately the alternate at this point, given my availability.
I'm cool with doing the main, and if something happens, I trust that you'll be able to step up. So
So I nominate Dustin Nana for this committee. Is that in order?
You can move that we appoint to the
All right,
2022 LNC Convention Platform Committee,
make it so.
Justin Anna with first alternate.
That's my motion.
There you go.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Yeah, he seconded. I was gonna say it's probably not appropriate for me to second.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'll second it.
All right. And is there any objection to this way? And that motion carries.
Point of, no, finish. Yes, I have a point of inquiry when you're done.
That motion carries. We will advise the LNC of those appointments, which does bring us to the Credentials Committee.
Are you, so this is unrelated to committees. Is Mr. Mueller on the call? I thought he
not
was,
presently.
but, oh, okay, no, okay.
He said in his message on chat that he would be.
That's what I thought. I just thought I saw him
Yeah,
joined,
we
but
haven't
I-
seen him yet today.
in the car, that the app was just not having it, so I have no idea what it thought.
Credentials Committee, I move to nominate Tricia Sprankle.
You're cool with it? You wanna be on it?
That's fine.
All right, second.
All right, so there's a motion to appoint to the 2022 LNC
We'll go
Convention
Credentials
Convention Credentials Committee. That's hard to say fast. Tricia Sprankle. And seconded. Any objection? Congratulations.
Woohoo!
There you go. Hopefully they put you at the booth.
So but if there would still be value in asking other people if they're interested, we can have more people later.
So the way it works is, so with platform, we've got me as the main, him as the alternate. If something happens to both of us where we can no longer participate, there could be a second alternate. It honestly usually never gets that far. With her, I would say there's definitely value in finding an alternate because we don't have one at all. And if you never know, like if or like, you know, maybe she just can't be at a meeting one day, the alternate can step in. If she's just busy one time. So I would say there's value in, you can ask for both, but I would say more so for credentials for sure.
One inquiry.
Yes.
Would it be appropriate to say, while we have made these nominations and everything here, that we hold off on notifying national until next month in case there's additional interest? We don't have to fight with changing laws.
I can,
We should, I think you can add alternates without any.
Okay.
yeah, the alternates are usually able to be switched around without much issue. Also, I can tell you, just as a useful piece of information, that there is little likelihood that I transmit that information to the LMC before the 1st of October. I mean, end of the week, hopefully, but there's the chance for motions to be made in the meantime, but otherwise, that'll be when we send that. Which puts us in new business from the floor.
Yeah, so I notified in chat, I would have some new business regarding Mr. Merrill. He showed up to the last Delaware County meeting unannounced and I think uninvited. I don't think he was on the email list. And some of the members didn't know who he was. The rest of them that were there that did know were very put off. We were hoping that he would kind of just get the message, that we canned you for certain reasons, that we don't really want you around, but apparently he has not. So now I think we probably need to consider barring him from our events and stuff. However we want to word that, that would be my preference.
Well, I will say two things there. The first is that the executive committee can do that for any state party events. We may not exercise that kind of control over the Delaware affiliates events. However, I would also add for context that
Well, here's what I want to do. I want to bar him from state events, and I want to remove him from the CRM and get all his information out. So that nothing can accidentally get emailed to him or anything like that, so that none of the other counties will accidentally email him and be like, hey, join our regional event.
you can make literally that motion to make it so.
I just, expressing my will to the body, let me think how to word it.
In the meantime, point of the inquiry, since Delaware County could in fact do that on their own, would a letter from the state chair encouraging that to happen be beneficial?
Could be. I think that
Perhaps
there's probably.
I would what I was going to say before Mr. Nana spoke last is that perhaps the loudest and clearest direction is the action of the state executive committee.
So let me think about this. So I will move to bar Guy Merrill from all state events and functions and to remove his information from the CRM.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All right, is there any objection?
Discussion, perhaps?
Good.
Sure.
Along these lines, is there a mechanism to have him removed from national database?
No, okay, we don't have that power.
Maybe not. However, the other note that I'll make as far as mechanics here, for that to have useful teeth in Ohio, we do need to advise him of the fact that he is not welcome. I would qualify the implementation of the motion just with a note that would be fully carried out once we're sure that all sufficient communication has been made using the information that we do have. That would be a letter, and that would be sent certified, and that would be sent and signed by me.
Okay. We need a motion for that too. 'Cause you're gonna spend money, right?
No.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
Okay.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion, we will proceed to a vote. I'm gonna go for unanimous consent again. This is not a special motion, so is there any objection to the motion as stated? Then without objection, the motion carries. I will be sure to begin the implementation of that this coming business week. Yes.
I was just informed that somebody actually is interested in being the alternate for credentialing. So I would like to move to reopen nominations for the alternate for that committee.
That is perfectly fine. In fact, actually, because of the way that's actually set up, we're not even technically really nominating. We can just make a motion to appoint an alternate.
I would like to appoint an alternate to the committee.
Well within bounds.
And what's your last name? Say it again, I'm sorry. Rethman? So I would like to appoint Derek, right?
Yeah.
Derek Rethman to the alternate spot on the credentials committee.
All right, the motion is to appoint Derek Rethman as the first alternate to the 2022 LNC Convention Credentials Committee.
Second.
Which has been seconded. I will, since you're present, is there anything you would like to say?
Thanks for the opportunity. I'm glad to be here.
Glad you applied.
Absolutely. All right. Any further discussion on the matter? Is there objection? Congratulations, you're the first alternate to the Credentials Committee.
It'll be fun.
Tell you what, this is the most stuff that we've gotten done by 9:40 in the morning, and I can't remember how long. So, is there any further new business from the floor?
No, I can't think of anything. Make sure.
All right. Yes.
Wasn't entirely sure if the proposals at the end of the financial report were technically new business or technically part of the financial report.
They would actually be technically part of new business, and actually, let me make a clarification. I should have, however, neglected to include reports from the party divisions on this agenda, because we had taken it off the last agenda for different reasons, and then I failed to put it back. So there should be some specific time for that, and I
moved
spoke
to amend
earlier
the
acting
agenda.
like there was.
I moved to hear from
So,
Mr. Lundstrom about finance
yeah,
for 5 minutes.
without objection, then
I got 10 minutes.
You think it'll take them?
No, I can read 5 minutes.
We can extend.
There's
Well,
a few proposals.
I'll say this, by my accounting for time, we will
We've got time.
give this 5 minutes for you to go over your report and proposals, and then we will have at least 5 more minutes of new business from the floor if there is any. Would you like to come
Yeah.
roughly up here? if you would like?
Do you all have access to the financial folder, or did Jim
It's in the
share it?
reports for this meeting, so it's in the meeting folder if anyone wants to follow along.
Hi, you all know me at this point, I think. I am now financial director. So most of the parts of the report that kind of filled out last time in more detail are a little bit empty. So the current number of membership is down a little bit, but I'm not sure if that's true or if that's just an artifact of the CRM being a little bit out of date.
I think both things are true at the same time.
And then let's see, right here with the conference stuff, the lifetime donor dinner. I don't know of any updates on that. That's what's happening before I was around. Staffing updates, financial director, and then proposed projects. This is where I think there's interesting stuff. I have 4 propositions, and don't worry, 3 of them make money and only one of them spends money, which is always the goal. So the first one is I was hoping to start a program of affiliate links. If you remember what National had for a bit with kind of, hey, someone joins either through this link or by adding this coupon code on joining, and then there is a kickback, essentially a paid advertiser. The way this funding has been structured is that people at large could apply for an affiliate link. The way the kickback is structured is if they give a one-time donation, you get 1/3 of the donation after processing fee. For a yearly donation, you get 50% of the first payment. For monthly donation, you get 100% of the first payment, all after processing fees. So we get more monthly donations to make us more. And then as a way to simplify paperwork, you could only start actually getting the money back once you reach $100 banked for you to receive. So that way we'd only need to start filling out the 1099, whatever the form name is, once someone's hit that point. The goal would of course be a bunch of people get these links, do $50 worth of donations, and then never even found the links. And this would be open also kind of for counties. So this would be a system for counties to get more money back. Like Franklin County has, I don't know, 2,000 people in the CRM, and I would, if someone spent the time to actually go through and call every single person in our CRM and say, I want you to be a member of the party, I think they should get something for that, or at least the county should. Second one, paid fundraiser. So we've had a professional paid fundraiser in the past. I think this is the position that we should offer again, with a 50% commission, which I believe is higher than my understanding. The standard is more like a 30-ish%, but right now we don't have, we're taking in $0. A 50% could kind of build up, find people that are willing to work with us and do a good job, and we can always lower it later when we actually have some options. But for right now, they are in the position of power, not us, so give a higher link. Third one that is kind of back to what I said earlier, which would be assisting the counties in actually doing phone bank with CRM works. Just training them like, hey, here is like where the phone numbers are, this is how you call them, this is what you should do. So that stuff. And then the final one where we're actually spending some money. So there are a lot of counties starting up. They don't really, they're getting some support in terms of training, but they haven't really gotten any material support yet. The things I'm hoping to do are, one, get a new set of rack cards because we have a few, but they're mostly out of date, and I don't also know we have that many. A lot of them kind of ran out. So if we get rack cards in bulk, they become a lot cheaper. I was thinking pick kind of our 4 best designs and probably actually touch them up or make our own if necessary. I don't know if anybody can lock down at all. And print 10,000 of each, with a total cost of, for 4 sets of 10,000, around $1,600. And then the county affiliate at request will be provided with 200 of each, if they give us a $20 donation to the state party. So we would be covering about a third of the costs and then kind of benefiting from that scale. And
Don't let me interrupt you. Just keep going.
so, but it's kind of also a, hey, we don't want to just give out rack cards to everybody if they don't. $20 isn't a big ask if you're not serious enough to raise $20, and it kind of feels like that you're going to just leave these cards in the shelf and never use them. So this is kind of, it's getting buy-in, but also letting us, like, it's so much cheaper if we get them in bulk, and then we're also paying for part of it. And that should give us enough rack cards for if there are 50 counties ask, or if a couple of counties ask multiple times, like 30 counties ask. We always order more. That's, I think, a reasonable number to start with. And then the other thing would be, if counties want physical material for tabling, I think that we should help them, if we set up a program with certain items that we pre-approved and say we will cover half the cost, but we will also be the ones ordering it. What that means is our counties will have professional, systematic designs that look like, they will all have, they'll look like Libertarian logo, Libertarian Party, whatever county kind of thing.
Uniformly.
Yes, yeah, we don't want random bad graphic design stuff popping up. The few things that I had as kind of initial proposal would be getting a nice folding table with a plain black tablecloth, $70, we cover half that, $35. Black folding tablecloth, and then like a table runner over it. Then another would be a folding table, and then one of the custom tablecloths that says like in black, and then like white print or maybe gold print, Libertarian Party of Cuyahoga County with the logo and that. So we would look more professional than pretty much everyone else out there tabling stuff like the bank. And then another one that I found was interesting is actually rollers like this are, the cost varies a bit, but we should be able to get one under $100 to split that if we had, and that would probably be going to be the same logo across the state. We can maybe get a bulk discount on them. But these are very easy to set up, and they look professional, and we would stand out from the crowd. Because people see far away when you have one of these. And then in terms of cost for this is kind of throwing it out there. This is not a final proposal, but it would be having a few pre-approved items like those, and then probably a capped amount of money that would go towards it for the year. So we wouldn't, every single county applied for $300 worth of things. We don't want, like, that'd be nice in some ways, but we don't want it to like just bankrupt us. So like have, hey, we're gonna approve $2,000 for this. Probably not gonna hit it, but if we do, and things are going really well, we can always approve more. But that would kind of be the thought. Any questions?
I would pay $300 to hear from certain counties. Mr. Nana.
Yeah, that's probably part of the problem. So I have a couple questions. I'll start with the first proposal.
Yep.
And this is a dual question to Jim because I don't remember, and also to you.
I'll
So
take the history first.
Yeah, let's do the history first. So the affiliate link, totally on board. Think it's a good idea. Question for Jim. We already have an affiliate sharing program, right?
We share revenues, pre-processing from the memberships specifically with affiliated counties.
And what is the percentage on that?
It is currently 1/3.
So it's actually higher right now, but we should still create the link.
Yeah.
It makes it easier.
That is an operation that is based for affiliated counties on gross membership revenues collected and paid on a quarterly basis, presently at 1/3.
Okay, so that we could probably just keep in place and then add the links. And then
this is only this is only a first time thing, so we wouldn't be all of a sudden paying out 100% to counties or anything like that.
right, which is how we've already got it structured, I think, essentially, right?
Well, and there, to my understanding, and hopefully this is a converging question then, your proposal is more focused on incentivizing members to go do fundraising,
Yes.
and then that is separate, if supplementarily useful to
Yes.
affiliated counties getting a payment for memberships
Exactly.
from the state.
So this would be a thing that is open for individuals,
Okay.
but highly encouraged for counties. So a county could get a link just like a person, and you could, it would be a way that if 5 people want to team up and do all their fundraising as a group, that they're just putting it back into the county kind of thing.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes more sense because you said affiliate. I was thinking counties only. That makes more sense.
This is any individual, or I know there's like 3 libertarian podcasters in Ohio.
Okay.
It's like, why, like, this is a no cost upfront way to advertise in their shows.
Okay, so that was my first question. Second question about the links. 50% on the first annual donation. how does that differ from the membership? Because a membership's also an annual donation.
That was, I
Is
was
there like
referring to membership, depending on if you're doing annual or monthly. So, yeah, that is what I meant when I said that.
Well, because our membership is just annual, straight up. Our membership is $25 a year. You can do monthly, but it would not make sense to collect less money for that because we'd be bringing more money in.
I know.
So a bit of clarifying mechanics. This scheme broadly is a mess because the definitions are a mess. This goes rather deep through the controlling documents. However, the operational paradigm we've been working under is that membership eligibility will be calculated off all donations generally. However, we have considered the join page, like the actual specific membership intent donations, to be memberships in a way separate from the affiliate sort of credit or fundraiser credit schemes we've run in the past.
So some of this will be solved by making new links to begin with.
Yeah.
Because then we can say, okay, it came from this link, therefore it qualifies for this percentage.
Right. And we'll do the accounting for membership eligibility on the backside.
Cool. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So I agree that the monthly reoccurring is it gives us a lot more money. It's a better thing for them to sign up for. The issue with that being, if we gave 3 months worth up front and someone canceled after a month.
Yeah, I was just thinking, and maybe it would be easier to do a money amount instead of differing between monthly and yearly. Like, so if you can get somebody to donate $100 versus whatever, I'm just spitballing here. But either way, I'm definitely supportive of the.
Yeah, no, I want to make sure that I want to make it as difficult as possible for this to have any way to be net negative. Net revenue negative.
Okay.
I don't want there to be some way that, hey, what if 100 people sign up for 1 month and then leave after a month and all of a sudden we're out 3 times the membership?
Yeah.
So that was I would prefer monthly memberships, but.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Paid fundraiser, pretty straightforward. 50% commission. That's pretty straightforward. I don't think I have any questions about that. Phone bank training sounds pretty straightforward. I don't think I have questions about that. So, county training. Where did you get a quote for 10,000 rat cards for $1,600?
Oh no, 10,000
Times four.
Yeah, 40,000.
Where the hell did you?
Where,
Excuse my language. Where the heck are you going to get 40,000 rat cards for $1,600? Do you have that quote?
Yeah, I have 3 websites that give me the same price.
Wow. Okay. How? That's
really cheap.
I would love to have the links.
Did you also check with Tom
Personal
Price
use?
by chance?
Tom Pruss, in my experience, he's very expensive, but
Well, he tries to give us.
he quoted me $60 per yard sign for my.
So it was
$550 for tiny ones and then $60 for big ones.
So the reason for it was entirely a question of scale. Like going from 1,000 to 10,000 was a 60% increase in price.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. It's even still, it's still insane. Like I would just.
No,
I believe you.
I can
I'm not
send you the links
questioning.
later.
No, I just want the links. I just want them for myself.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That was my main question.
That's a fair question.
My other question is, should we increase the buy-in for counties? Because $20.
So the cost to us per set of rat cards in the counties would be $32.
And we'll charge them 20.
Yeah.
So we'll lose $12. I'm not so concerned about losing the $12. Is that I think the buy-in is so low. Maybe increase the amount per county that they have to buy at a time, and then also increase that price, but keep the ratio. Because I think, in my experience, we have a lot of counties who think big, and then they're just like, it's like you said, they're going to go sit on a shelf. I don't want us to shell out. I don't want us to buy all this and then give it out to counties because they raised $20 and then they sit on the shelf. Because it costs several $100s to get a booth at a fair.
Yeah.
So if you've only got $20, well, you're not going to be passing it out anywhere.
We could even do, the other thing I do realize is we're probably gonna give out a lot of rat cards for free. It's just, that's how it works.
Oh, of course.
So I think that we could even do a $40 one, so they'd be covering a little bit over cost. It still is way cheaper because we're ordering them in bulk.
Right.
And then we have a little bit of margins because we're gonna, if a county asks really nice and gives us puppy dog eyes, we're gonna handle it.
And then in terms of the table and tablecloth, how do we determine, I mean, is that just you ask and you get one, or is that maybe like a, hey, you've got an event that you've already booked, here you go?
My plan was to make the counties aware of it and then say, if you want it, we would have an actual, here are your 4 packages you could get. You get us, send us this much money, we match this much, and then the stuff gets shipped to you.
Okay, that sounds good. The way, because, yeah, I just, I don't want to buy tables and then them not get used.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunately something that we've had a problem with in the past, which is why we usually require buy-in from the counties.
Yep.
In the past, we've done like a, hey, you want to do an event? Cool, give us your plan, and then pay a certain percentage of the actual event fee, and then we'll cover the rest. That way, we know you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Um,
All the prices for tablecloths and all that was all at single unit pricing. So this is not us getting a bulk discount up front. This would be, they buy it, like they pay us and then we buy it specifically for them.
Okay.
There's a couple, like Walmart has really nice fold tables.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, you don't need anything fancy. I get it.
Just to clarify on there, right, is
Point of
your,
order.
We are.
We have definitely overtime.
Motion to
Okay.
extend by 5 minutes.
Second.
We were overtime a long time ago. That's fine.
Objection.
Something a little bit,
Do you object?
it's okay.
is it without
Oh, I
objection?
thought you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Then
I
we will continue for
Yeah.
another 5 here.
Excellent.
And so it's my understanding then, from your response to those questions that, aside from perhaps the rack cards, which involves some degree of inventorying,
Yes.
that your plan is to offer a curated menu of very easy to order for the affiliates, materials that are sort of designed and ready to go so that they can say, yes, source me these things, here's the money for it, and then we can turn around to the various vendors that we use and
Exactly.
get good pricing and send it to them all kind of collected.
I think they're all really good ideas.
Yeah, that's a question.
I have a suggestion and a question. On the rack card pricing, do it tiered with a discount type thing, so maybe the first 200 cards is $35, which covers the cost and a little more. If they order 500, reduce it a little bit, now we're paying a little bit towards it, that type of deal?
Yeah.
So that we're not eating the cost on every affiliate that buys like 200 cards, right?
Yeah. So,
If they give more buy-in, then we help them.
so first 200 is $40, every 200 after is $20.
Something like that, yeah.
That
Okay.
makes the math.
And then my question regarding the individualized tablecloths and signage.
Yep.
Who's gonna do the graphic work every time a county decides? Because
Yeah.
you have to provide the printer with
Yes.
the finished artwork.
I have the templates.
Yeah, well, I would say,
Yeah.
you're talking like a logo, right? I would say
I'm
we
even
just-
talking about the text. If it says Libertarian Party of Lucas County and then Wood County comes along, someone has to create
Yeah.
Libertarian Party
That
of
there's
Wood
a-
County.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was planning on.
Not just graphic, but the wording that goes on these
Yeah,
things
so
too.
I was planning to do that myself, but if we have anything pre-made, I'm happy, because it's literally for the tablecloths and the runners and all that, it would literally just be a libertarian party of blank county, and that would be it.
Yeah.
So that'd be
That
I'm
would be
not
one.
gonna do anything
Okay.
fancy. The only thing fancy would be, if you are interested, one of these, and this would be something. That would
Yeah.
be- There would be one version, everyone has the same one. I'm not gonna redesign that.
Yeah, Franklin County like has their own logo. They could theoretically do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, for the generic county outline logos with the same kind of silhouette that you see there, we have vector and raster versions of all of those ready to go, that can be dropped in.
Oh,
Every
I made ours.
And then we've got,
Wait, we have one for every county?
every county.
Yes,
shit.
so
I generated
that's the value of this, is that the counties don't even know we have that, and this is like,
Yeah.
hey, this exists.
And,
Next time, don't even know we have that.
yeah, and we could as easily just kind of slide that up. If any county wants to use an alternate logo, they could provide one. And then, Libertarian Party will have line or, whichever county line.
Easy enough.
And then
Pretty
and I had a similar thought for the rack cards. I was planning on changing it a little bit, so it directs to the Ohio website instead of the national. And then I was thinking of this is a later design question, but maybe having a blank line in there where you could write your county name or whatever,
Okay.
like maybe each county's coupon code is their name, so like just write in that. Or writing your county website, whatever, something, maybe hitting a blank spot.
But I was gonna say, maybe a spot for a stamp, and we could say lpo.org/Lucas for Lucas County, and
Yeah,
that type of
Just
stuff.
Sharpie it in.
So my last question is, I know some of this is not actionable today, and I appreciate you bringing it to us so that we can start thinking about it. I think, so it's a two-part question. What do you think is actionable today that we can make motions on? Second question, and I think the answer is yes. Do you think it's actionable to create the paid fundraiser position? I think we can do that pretty easily.
Yeah, I think that the paid fundraising position would be the most actionable. The second most would be getting the affiliate link in process. The other stuff is, now that I know that you are interested, put together designs and like packages.
Okay. Well, let me, once your report's done, then we can make motions. Sounds good.
Suggestion back to the, or question and suggestion back to the donations portion. What are the credit card processing fees for our donations and membership payments?
You look like,
Approximately, is it like 2% or?
so assuming that the mechanism of payment was credit card, which I think is the only one we're publicly taking online, the pricing is 2.3% plus 30 cents.
Okay,
That sounds good.
Or 2.9% plus 30 cents.
okay.
There are a couple transactions that we don't pay that on, but not that someone would do new.
So suggestions.
Yeah.
I noticed that Kevin Kahn and who was the other one running over there in Hamilton? We have two candidates running for city council over in Mike Baines and yes, Joe Combs.
Yep.
I donated to their campaigns, and there's a checkbox on the donation page to pay the processing fee
Yeah.
to offset so that the donation is in full. Is there a way we can implement that?
Yeah, we have it. I don't turn it on.
Okay. Second, is there a way that we could offer on the county pages that people could donate or join the county financially, or even set up a recurring donation to the county where maybe they donate $25 a month to LPO and 10 to their county, and that payment, one process, but then gets split?
I think that would be a good way of doing the county affiliate links. So you have, I don't know, warren.lpo.org/donate maybe? Or actually, no, that might be a thing.
Because I've had 3 people ask me if they can do recurring donations to my county party, and I'm like, oh, I can't do that right now.
Franklin County can, so I think that like that is a question of your county treasurer can set up just a PayPal recurring thing.
So we're about at time again. Let me make a clarifying statement, which is that we should talk separately about also the laws about how we can solicit and take money between the different committees, because that is a thing.
Okay.
Also, the general encouragement to keep it simple. It's reasonably easy for us to send checks to county parties, and that is through the right accounts.
I still
generally unlimited.
need mine, by the way.
Yes. Is there anything further here? Is it good? Okay. Then without a motion to extend on time, thank you for presenting that. Greatly appreciate that, and look forward to working out some of the details with you on those plans in the future. Certainly, if I can be of any direct assistance, please let me know, and we will be in touch. At this time, we would return to new business from the floor. Before I open the floor completely, I'm going to seize the opportunity to move a couple of things from the chair, which will be mildly less inappropriate because these are affiliate recognitions. The first would be the recognition of the Warren County affiliate, which was formed or had their formation meeting on the 8th of this month. We're a little slow getting to this one at 7 p.m. 5 attendees there. Their votes resulted in Mark Maris, M-A-R-A-S-C-H. I'm not going to pronounce it correctly. Marsh, nominated, seconded, and voted in for chair. Joshua Toms in the secretary position, and Phil Denton as treasurer. And my apologies, Mark, for completely butchering the pronunciation of your name and having a hard time reading off the screen generally. They did submit their constitution and bylaws from that meeting, and so with that all being considered, we move the recognition of this Warren County affiliate.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Sounds good.
Any objection? Warren County is recognized. Congratulations and welcome to the proverbial family. Next would be Summit County. Summit County had a meeting on, again, I'm going to slow bringing this, my apologies, on the 28th of August with 17 people in attendance, 11 credentialed and elected as chair Tyler McGill, treasurer Brad Porter, and secretary Derek Taff. Submitted a copy of their constitution and bylaws from that meeting. And I would, in light of that, move the recognition of this Summit County affiliate.
Second.
Any discussion? Objection? This is the vote. Congratulations to Summit County. And a personal note, thank you for affiliating with the county in which I live. With that, the floor is still open for new business.
I would like to move, we create a paid fundraiser position. Let me think about this because I need the details. How exactly do you envision the commission for the paid fundraiser? I know you said 50%, but that we need to make it so that he can't call somebody who's already donating and then vulture that.
May I make a suggestion?
Sure.
That you could define certain parameters with the final agreement subject to approval by.
Okay, let's create a paid fundraiser
You
position
could solicit the job without. having
with final details to be written in a document by the chair and then approved by this body at a later time.
All right.
That sound good?
So your motion would be to solicit for the contracting of a paid fundraiser position with the details of compensation and terms to be drawn up by myself and subject to final approval by this body.
Yes.
Quite agree. Would this be a single person in a, say, director position, or would this be something where several people could jump on and?
My understanding of Mr. Nana's motion presently, which has not yet been seconded, is a compensated fundraiser position, which is limited to one. And
Could
that would
the
not be a
contract-
director role, just to clarify, it would be a staff role within the finance
Contractor, yeah. My intent was to do one person because I don't know how we're gonna do more than one without it getting really messy. It may be part of the contract that they're allowed to subcontract out help and then they get to decide themselves how to pay people. That's fine, but the money is gonna roll up to that top person and then, whatever.
Yeah,
They know how to better hire other fundraisers.
Correct. I don't
I'll
want
spare
that.
further commentary until we have a second for that motion with the intent clarified. Okay, that motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right. Is there any objection to the motion as stated to solicit a compensated fundraiser? Then that motion carries, and you shall begin such solicitations forthwith. Is there any other new business from the floor?
Just point of information, Mr. Moeller appears to be like,
Oh. All right, then with that, we will close new business from the floor. Thank you to everyone for making that rather productive. And before we move to the closing of the meeting, as Mr. Mueller is present, without objection from the body, I would like to return to the treasurer's report if Mr. Mueller has anything to add to that.
Yeah, apologies for being late. I can, I guess, talk quickly. Did you address the conference? I think that's the only real thing of substance. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add then.
All
Sounds
right.
good to me.
Yeah, and then I would only further comment that hopefully did you catch most or all of Mr. Lundstrom's talking points on the finance division?
Yeah, I did. That's when I joined.
Yeah, because I'm sure that there's a fruitful collaboration to be had there in the future. We'll all get together in the next couple of weeks here to go over some of that. With the agenda being exhausted, then, save for these final two matters, we'll move to public comment. Should there be any? One moment. We have a few members present in person as well as the live stream.
Just I confirmed the price, so I guess the one that I was looking at, I had not checked shipping on it. So it is a little bit more depending on the quality you're getting, so getting a couple steps over the bottom line. It's 500 per 10,000 credit cards.
So it would be
We are set presently for
$2,000.
10 minutes of public comment.
But if you go for a different coating, then the cost is back down.
Mr. Chulo?
I move to
We'll keep-
reduce the time limit on public comment to 3 minutes.
Motion to reduce public comment time to 3 minutes.
Can I amend that to 30 seconds? Unless there's somebody that wants to talk.
I'll accept that amendment. I was trying to be nice.
Okay.
I mean,
Well-
I'll withdraw my amendment if somebody wants to talk, but I don't want to sit here for 3 minutes in silence.
So is there a motion to reduce the time for public comment?
Yes,
Okay.
30 seconds.
To 30 seconds.
Second.
Okay, and seconded. Any objection? Any members of the public, you will now have 30 further seconds to submit public comment or request further time.
You are all doing a wonderful job, and I appreciate all of your service.
Maybe we should do 2,500 of each
Each
then. Instead of 10,000 for each issue.
Allows
10,000's a
15
lot.
more
I don't,
seconds.
I think,
Uh,
I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I only
but
gave it that one time in case someone actually had to unmute
That's a
and
lot.
speak up.
wait, I am
But then again,
I know
I'm
It
also
seems like
verifying
all
there's
you're
nothing in
coming
chat
something
on
that
the
Yeah.
live stream, which
And
there-
see, there's
there
things
is
that
not.
require a little
I
time.
mean,
if 40 counties.
And with
beyond
that,
stuff,
time has been exhausted for public comment, and we are set to close the meeting. Final matter would be to set the next meeting date and time.
let's find out.
Let's try and do that expeditiously.
I am not available the 23rd of October.
October's rough for me because I'm doing campaign stuff, but I can make it work. Remote at least.
So I would say we should probably, so that we do have, there's Halloween weekend in there, also things that are happening in that month that I care about. Selfishly, I have an anniversary weekend in there, and
What weekend
some
is
other travel. That's the fifth weekend following the 15th, 16th, 17th.
16th would be out.
My commitment on the 23rd is, I just looked at it, is an evening wedding, so I'm free in the morning for a meeting.
Okay,
so that's
So
fine.
do we want to do the
23rd?
23rd? That sounds good to me. Then it's about
I'm
a month.
planning on running for a position and I'm free the morning of the 23rd, but I need to be somewhere at 12:30.
Oh, we'll be done by then.
Alright, so do we want to do the 23rd? Do we like the 9 o'clock time slot, or do we not like the 9 o'clock time slot?
I like it.
I'm fine with it. I still have an infant, so we can start this thing at 5 and I'll be already up and ready to go. All right, so is there a motion to set the next regular executive
Yes.
committee meeting for October 23rd, 2021
Be
at
it
9
moved.
a.m. here at the office and online by the